You're listening to TG1F, an F1 podcast with Kate and Nicole.
We're your hosts. I'm Kate.
And I'm Nicole.
And this is our show, where we talk about all things Formula One.
And a lot of things that are not Formula One, too.
Because why the heck not?
This is your formal invitation to a weekly hangout with your F1 BFFs, where we'll talk on-track action, off-track gossip, and throw in some hot pop culture topics.
It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned F1 fan, a curious newbie, or literally just think the drivers are hot. Because they are. There's a little something in this podcast for everyone.
Speaking of which, did you hear what happened this week?
No, tell me about it.
It's lights out and away we go, baby. You look like you're going to play a game of golf, though.
Maybe I am.
She's in her Lily era.
I wish, dude. I was talking to someone, and me and Nick were talking to someone together. And he was like,
okay, that sounded, it's giving, we saw you from across the bar and we liked your vibes.
Okay, pretty sure it was his mom. So the vibes were not that. But he was like, oh yeah, I don't have like a golf partner around here. And I was like, hello. And he was like, would you be interested in golfing? And I was like, he was like, I didn't think you would be interested. I'm like, because you never asked me. I've never been invited on the golf outings. I was like, if I did a quick 9, especially if it was a par 3.
We saw how good you were at Top Golf.
And he's too scared to bring me to a real course with him one-on-one.
He doesn't want that smoke.
Usually if we go golfing, it's with my whole family, and my mom and I go together. So no one really counts us. He's too scared of going solo with me because he's like, dang, I can't hang with her. She's too good.
They can't count you out. They can't count you out.
Count me out. Don't hate the player, hate the game. That was me to you guys at Top Golf. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
The worst part is that we literally put you on easy mode. We were like, we'll put Kate on easy mode because we know she's gonna get mad if she loses by too much. And then it was so easy. And then Nick and I lost by so much. And we're like, this is fucking ridiculous.
And then, surprise, you guys were the ones getting mad because you lost by too much.
Yeah, because we were like, this is so stupid. Why is it like actively hurting us? It's like, it's actually criminal the way that it's making it hard for us.
Insert Pierre.
Why is he attacking me like this?
Oh my gosh.
What is he doing? Yeah, that's me and Nick to Top Golf.
Oh my goodness. Well, we have a lot to talk about today.
We both look bald. We both have our hair in small buns.
You look like a hot little gamer girl.
Thank you.
She's just gaming.
And you look like a hot golfer.
A golfer and gamer girlfriends.
What else?
We've got the athlete and the recluse.
What else could you ask for?
Quite literally nothing. We have a ton to talk about today. We have a lot to discuss. Quick overview for those listening to know what to expect here. We are going to be talking about Montreal. So doing a little pre-cap of the races past weekend. We are going to do the 2 o'clock news, 2 girls o'clock news. We've got some fun stuff to cover, silly season updates, the biggest beef in the paddock this weekend, and someone who we hate has said something that we like. So, well, cliffhanger.
A broken clock is right 2 times a day.
Amen, sister. We're going to do another segment of Formula E. So It's electric. Formula E. We are going to be deep diving into the teams, the drivers, who you need to know, the ins and outs there. Social stars. We've got a couple ladies on social media causing some ruckus in the past week, so we'll be talking about that. Someone got a tattoo we'll have to discuss. And then we've got some things to talk about in the girls' room with Ginger Spice herself.
Mm-hmm.
She is doing some things, so she is going to be the hot topic of the girls' room today. Maybe we'll get a little bitching hour in there. Who knows? We'll see if something comes up for us. I don't have a bitching hour planned, but maybe something will come up as we talk. So
likely.
It usually does. But let's get right into it. Let's talk about Montreal. I'll say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to say it confidently with my chest. Best race of the season.
Best race of the season. It was
Best
so exciting.
race.
It had it all.
This race has it all. Double DNFs from 2 teams. The Haas is absolutely showing up and showing out.
Gunther would be
winning.
so proud.
I
Max
know.
winning.
Yeah. I mean, it has it all. So it had to have that.
It was real close there for a second. I was not sure. But you know what?
There was a couple different leaders, which I felt like was the best part.
I needed Max to win this because while we're not continuing to update you guys on the pod every week about the standings, I am keeping score. We are keeping score, and Kate's literally kicking my ass. And she hasn't even updated her points in like 3 races, and she's still kicking my ass. Because Max and Checo have literally been shitting the bed. And they were like, I don't have anyone else really who scores points. And so I was like, I needed them. Once again, 2 weeks in a row, 2 races in a row, Checo, poo-poo, DNF.
Poo-poo. Yeah, we really were like pretty confident in you just shoo-in for the championship on the on-track points this year, and surprise
I'm literally getting my ass handed to me.
So
thank God we haven't come up with a punishment yet.
You're so
because
right.
I am gonna get it. Whatever it is, it's for me.
Whatever it is, it's for Nicole. I am dead. No, so I watched the race, but I was on my way. I was driving home. Where was I? I don't remember where I was.
Were you in New Hampshire?
Yes, I was in New Hampshire. So Nick and I were driving.
I was tracking your location.
Yeah, we saw Allie this weekend. Back from Germany, my gal. So Nick and I were in the car. Race starts. And Nick was like, all right, I'll put it on. Like, I'll watch it, but I'll connect to Bluetooth so you can listen to it. Girl, I felt like I was in the 50s. Huddled around my radio to listen to the primetime television show of the night. But honestly, an electric way to like consume a race. I was white knuckling the steering wheel as I'm driving, listening to this. They're all like listening to the lead up to Lights Out. Everyone's shitting on Haas. They're like, these stupid fucking idiots. What morons. Everyone's on the medium. They're on the full wets. Like losers. Dumbest people alive. They're like, you're the stupidest people we've ever met. Roasting them. Just absolutely roasting them.
They were like fucking idiots.
Like, this is never gonna work. They're so stupid. And what happens? Lights are out, and all of a sudden they're just like, okay, holy fucking shit. It's been 1 lap, and KMag is up 10 places.
Yeah, KMag it was really impressive.
Cruising. They're like, he's got Hamilton, he's got Alonso, he's got Piastri, he's just cruising past everyone. Like, they're like, this is the best day of Kevin's life. But like, they're like, okay, well, I guess joke's on us because the wets were the right move and Haas was the only team to choose them. And he and Nico, I think, each made up at least went up at least 10 places in the first couple laps, which was just absolutely insane.
Yeah, but it did not end. It didn't last for them.
And that's the other thing, is that all the announcers, as it's going, they're like, this can't last, guys. This is great, but it's not gonna last. And I was like, can we give them like a little credit? Because it could have, I think that KMag could have done really well if Haas didn't fuck him with his pit stop.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, this is supposed to happen to Valtteri, not KMag. Like, what's going on? But I think my favorite part of the race as this was happening was when they were like, wow, and an absolutely superb cameo from Kevin Magnussen. Like,
and as if he like he got pole, like he's gotten pole position, like he's he's at HAAS, but like he's a good driver. They act like it's like fucking Logan Sargent out here.
They literally acted as if one of the groundhogs had like hopped in a car and was like racing and doing well. They're like, superb cameo from this groundhog. How crazy. He's driving
we've
a car.
Seen Kevin drive. Like, put that man in a good car and he's gonna do good things.
I was just like, I would be so mad if I was Kevin, like that they were just like discounting him doing that. But it was so good. Finally, I did get home after like 20 minutes of listening and got to watch the rest. And like, it just continued to be good. We said double DNF for 2 teams, Ferrari and Williams. Charles had engine issues for like several laps.
They got us in the first half. They were like, we think we solved the problem. Keep going. And then
they just kept being like,
unfortunately,
hey,
they did not.
Yeah, he's like, what's the engine update? And they're like, still bad. Keep going though. And
there was also one point where I think he asked about someone's time behind him, and they're like, he's catching up or whatever. And he goes, that's not what I fucking asked. Give me the answer that I want. And they're like, all right, 0.7 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, he asked how much time he was losing on the straights. He was like, how much time am I losing on the straights? And they said, quite a bit. Keep going. And he's like, no, answer my fucking question. And I'm like, that's so fair. That's so fair. People get mad when Charles gets a little bitchy on the radio because he's such a nice boy most of the time. And they're like, he's so rude on the radio. Blah. Like, but I'm like, I get that one.
Yeah.
Like, don't give me this half-assed quite a bit. Like, I'm sorry. That's not
I asked you a question.
Like, you're an engineer, bro. You're supposed to have that answer right in front of you. But yeah, and then Carlos spun out, ruined the race for Albon. Was very sad.
Yeah.
Right? It was Carlos?
Yeah. Carlos, and then hit Alex, and they both had to go out. And then Logan went out.
Twice.
Yeah, twice.
Logan was out at one point, and it was like, safety car, yellow flag. And then they were like, oh, he put it in reverse, Terry. He's back. And
then Checo went out.
Kidding. He actually is out.
Checo hit the wall, and he has been handed a 3-place penalty grid for the next race because he hobbled back to the pits with an injured car. And so another tough week for the girls over on Team Nicole.
Okay, I didn't do that good this week either, I don't think. I don't know.
You have Lando, you have George, you have Lewis.
No, I did pretty good this week.
You have Danny.
I just know I have both Ferraris.
And I think you have Pierre. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 4 are in positions 2, 3, and 4. So I think you did okay this week.
Okay, I'm so sorry for insinuating that I had a bad week. I'm so sorry.
I think you did okay this week. No worries from you.
No worries. Also, I'm obsessed with the autocorrect on our agenda that I was saying sad for Alex Albon because he was just kind of like a passenger in that crash, but it says sad for Alton. I'm like, who? I literally thought you put this in there. I was like, who the fuck is Alton? No,
Alton Brown. Famed Food Network TV host.
Famed. I don't really like him, actually.
Really?
He bothers me sometimes.
Doesn't matter. Not relevant to the conversation.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, you're right. It does not matter. Because we're trying to talk about Albon, not Alton. Anyways, that's it for our Montreal precap. All in all, great race. Loved it. Hope to see more races like that.
Yeah.
And if you wish that we talked more about the race, you can go watch it for yourself. Because I don't remember anything else. So, anyways. And now it's time for the 2 Girls O'Clock news. Thank you so much for joining us again for a special edition of the 2 o'clock news. We come to you live every Thursday, recorded. It's not that special.
It's
A
not
regular
live.
edition.
We
It's
come
not
to you
live.
recorded.
We
We
come to
record
you
it every
live
Thursday.
as a record. Anyways, here are your top stories of the week. For silly season, we have a few updates. Number 1, Yuki Tsunoda has re-signed with VCARB to continue on for another 2 seasons.
Which he deserves. He also
He
deserves
does
a better
deserve.
car. So
Correct. I also did hear, I think VCARB is once again changing their name.
yeah. Helmut
Because
Marko did say that.
yeah, because he was like, we told Yuki that he'd be driving for RB next year, and he thought he got the Red Bull seat.
That's so cruel.
Literally
That's
so cruel. That's cruel and
so cruel.
unusual punishment. So that's the latest update of someone who has signed for a seat. But a quick update on teams that currently have seats available. So here's a little refresher. Teams that have seats available right now: Mercedes,
Yep.
Alpine, Williams, VCARB, HAAS, and Sauber, that will eventually become Audi. Drivers that currently need seats, so that don't have a seat right now for next year: Carlos, Danny, Valtteri, Logan, Pierre, and Kevin Magnussen. Where will they go?
Yeah, my question for you is, out of those drivers, who do you think is staying? Who do you think is going? Where are they going?
Carlos, Williams, I'm pretty positive at this point. Danny,
Unless Sauber, he realizes that Audi is
Audi would
actually a
be.
pretty good deal and he
Now
does
that
go to
now that Red Bull has closed the door, maybe he is thinking about Audi
yeah.
again.
Which again, still crazy to me that Red Bull re-signed Sergio. I'm wondering if they're regretting their decision after the last 2 races.
I know.
They're kind of like, we made a mistake.
Contracts are made to be broken in this sport, so who knows? Danny,
We'll
I mean,
see.
I think I could see 2 scenarios. One, they keep him on at VCARB, and they're like, Red Bull is just like, we're not reinventing the wheel for next year. We are just kind of status quoing, keeping the drivers that know how to drive the car right now. And
Yeah,
just
because
kind
what
of
they're
going with
they're
it.
not gonna like really do anything great with that car in the next year.
Right, because then there's new regulations for 2026. So I'm
Yeah,
assuming that most places will keep their car the same pretty much for next year and spend all of next year developing the new car for 26.
right.
So don't teach someone new how to drive the car, just kind of keep it who they have on the team. So I could see Danny staying there, or I could see Danny not getting a seat next year and having this kind of be the year.
Yeah,
Um
he's getting up there.
Yeah. Valtteri, again, could stay, could go.
Yeah.
I'm unsure. I kind of don't think he's going to stay at Sauber. I think they're bringing in Nico as like the experienced driver, but I think they could keep Joe. I think they want someone kind of young, someone fresh that's
Well,
been
you
proving
don't have you
themselves.
don't have Joe on this list, so
Joe does not.
safe
Wait,
to assume that you are
I
no,
must have looked at a bad article.
no.
Correct.
They haven't re-signed.
They haven't.
They haven't re-signed him.
So you're right. So Joe. But I could see them keeping him and having it be him and Nico.
Yeah,
Logan, I don't think will be staying in
me either.
F1, unfortunately.
Well, especially
Um,
because we say Carlos is going to Williams. There's
yeah,
certainly no spot for him.
unless he goes to Haas, which they could if they wanted like an American driver on
Yeah.
the American team. It could be a possibility. Pierre will get a seat. I think he'll stay with Alpine. They just haven't like announced that he resigned. And then
You also
Kay,
don't have Esteban on this list either.
right. I think I looked at a really bad article. I did this in like literally 3 minutes before we hopped on here. Um, Esteban, who fucking knows?
I don't know. I
Doesn't
think
matter.
he's gonna go to Mercedes. Everyone's like, "Oh, Toto says that Kimi is their future. Kimi is their future." I think they're gonna sign Kimi in 2026.
New
I
regs.
think they're gonna fill the seat with Esteban because he's middle of the lane. He's not
It'll help
like
with development of
it'll
the
help with
2026
development.
car.
I
Yeah.
think that they'll bring Kimi up as like reserve driver. He'll get the opportunity to like test drive the car a few times throughout the season as like
he
FP1
will do
stuff.
a lot of the developing, I think. Like, I think he'll be like reserve driver, development driver. He'll be developing the new car, and then they'll sign him for that year. So he's kind of really comfortable with it already.
Yeah. Unless they bring up Kimi early and they say, we don't give a shit. He can learn how to drive the car in this season that we don't care about. Who's to say? I think it could go either way, but
yeah,
I know Toto has said that Kimi is their future, and I believe that, but I just think that with a vested interest in Esteban, I can see him being at Mercedes.
Yeah. And then KMag, I think will probably stay at HAAS.
Yeah.
I think.
It's either stay at HAAS or he's out.
Yeah.
I don't see him going anywhere else.
I don't think so either. It'll be interesting. That's for sure. Honestly, silly season is not being as silly as we thought it was going to be.
And I think it's because of the regulation change happening in 26. I think they're just like you said, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're just kind of holding steady. We'll figure it out in 26.
Yeah. All right. Here's your next piece of news. The biggest piece of beef in the paddock. Tell your boyfriend, if he says he's got beef, that I'm a vegetarian, I ain't fucking scared of him. That's what Daniel Ricciardo said to Jacques Villeneuve in Montreal this weekend. So big drama. Lots. It was huge. I felt like I was reading like a J14 magazine talking about teen drama. So Jacques Villeneuve, obviously pretty storied family, pretty storied name, pretty storied driver in F1. Obviously they were driving at a circuit with Villeneuve
named after his dad.
So he is pretty connected there, and that's why he was there. But when talking about Danny, he got into a little bit of hot water with some fans, and people are pretty divided, like 50-50, whether they agree with him or they think he was completely wrong. I think we can all agree maybe it was a little bit harsh in the way that he said it, but this is what he said, talking about Danny. Quote, "Why is he still in F1? We're hearing the same thing now for the last 4 or 5 years. We have to make it better for him. Poor him. It's been 5 years of that. Maybe you make that effort for Lewis Hamilton, who's won multiple championships. You don't make that effort for a driver that can't cut it. Can't cut it? Go home. There's someone else who can take your place." So that kind of ignited some tension. And
I mean, the Ricardos
said, pull up.
Pull up.
Jacques.
I hope you can fight, Jacques.
Danny responded when someone asked him about his comments, and he said, "I still don't know what he said, but I heard he's been talking shit, but he always does. I think he's hit his head a few too many times. I don't know if he plays ice hockey or something." And I think he said, "Eat a dick." Or I think he said he can eat a dick. Unsure, unverified. But Jacques responded back after Danny's performance in the race.
Wait, I'm not done.
He said, "You cannot make it personal," because he was like, Danny made everything I said very personal. "You cannot make it personal. You need a thick skin." And I got under the skin, but it got better for his driving. But it's not enough. He needs to do more of this. Like, Danny did pretty good. And I think he's like, you made it personal, but you also let me get under your skin. But you need to perform whether or not someone's like under your skin.
Well, yeah, he qualified 5th, and then he was not doing that well.
Yeah,
I was like, likely place for him to be. You know, I said this on the story. I can be critical of Daniel Ricciardo because I love him. I love that silly little man. I don't care. But the minute someone else tries to be mean to him, I'll fight. I'll fight in his honor. It's
like when you're like, you can't make fun of my sibling. Only I can make fun of my sibling. Right. Like, if you're doing it, it's obviously fine. But like the minute someone else gets in there, you're like,
he is okay. I take it back. He did win
a
championship.
Oh, he is who someone... are you? I'm the owner of this house. That's what he's saying to you right now.
Take it back. Whatever. Whatever. Make your loser. Redacted.
This is why we're not a real news show.
I'll tell you this though. He's only 5'6".
Oh, tough. Well, Danny's got what, an inch on him?
He is 5'10". Thank you very much. With his hair lately, he could pass for 5'11".
Oh my, the hair, dude.
The hair of it all. We're not going to get into that on this
We're not
episode.
Getting into it. No, he's taken enough heat this week from Jacques. And also Martin Brundle weighed in a little bit. Danny clearly still does have speed and racecraft, as we witnessed also in the Miami sprint, but something in his psyche or approach is holding that back, and it's costing him opportunity and longevity. Those results were quite a while ago, and I wish he'd not left Red Bull at the end of 2018. That was an emotional and flawed decision. He should have faced up to Max in the best car, then he'd have necessarily raised his game even further. Ricciardo never seemed to be quite the same driver again.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
I mean,
that was fair. That is all.
We've been saying. Everyone's been saying that. Everyone is kind of on board with that.
Yeah.
Agreed, Martin.
Yes. You know, I think here's the thing is I don't necessarily disagree with Jacques.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the way he said it was like,
Yeah.
that was abrasive, and I think you knew what you were doing because Danny has a lot of fans. Like, I think it was like the harshness in the way he said it, but I'm like, the content, I would not call it factually inaccurate. I would not call it necessarily fake news on Twitter. Like, it would not have like a fake news thing at the bottom. So
community notes just say the man's a hater, move on.
Yeah, exactly. So here's I teased this at the beginning. Someone we hate said something we like. And as Nicole said, a clock's gotta be right twice a day. Helmut Marko, when he was asked who he thinks the strongest driver pairing on the grid is, of course everyone thinks he's gonna say Max and Checo because that's his team and that's the team that they re-signed for next year.
Mm-hmm.
And he did not say that. He said that the strongest driver pairing is Lando and Oscar. He said they're both young, focused, and hungry. At the moment, they get along well and they work well together. One day, they will compete for the championship title, both in drivers and constructors. And I said, everyone liked that.
Everyone liked that.
I think he has got a good point. And we clearly see both of them fighting each other even for positions every week. They're both very consistently up in the top 5. Both of them had a chance even to take a win in Montreal. I think they're both just really, I think Oscar was like the best decision that McLaren made in a while. Like it was very, no offense, it was a good choice for them to part ways with Danny and bring Oscar
I get
in.
I get it. As one of Oscar's original haters, I really hated Oscar. I'll tell you, I've really come around on him.
Nicole's just retracting statements left and right on this podcast today.
I'll tell you what, Lando or Oscar,
you're all right.
I'll give it to you. You're all right. You can stick around, kid.
And that's been the 2:00 news. You want to know what time it is? It's electric.
It's electric. Time for Formula E. And today we're going to be quickly going through the teams and the drivers. Kate and I don't know anything about Formula E. And we've also just been asked to come up with a list of which drivers we would like to interview when we're there. And I can tell you this, I have a pretty good idea of who I wanted to talk to after this list, but before I had no idea. So let me run you through.
Tell me. Well, I know who you want to talk to. Before this list, I also know who you want to talk to, Nicole. You had one person. You had one person on the brain. We both had one person on the brain to talk to.
I think it's the same person.
100%.
Okay. So like we said last week, there are 11 teams, 22 drivers, a little different than F1, but I'm going to go through the team. So first we have ABT Cupra Formula E team. We got Nico and Lucas, and Nico is Swiss, and his first Formula E debut was at the 2020 Diriyah E-Prix. I don't know where that is. But his notable achievements are he's known for his versatility, and he's competed in DTM and was a test and reserve driver for Audi's Formula E team before securing a full-time race seat. And then
I have a question on him.
What?
Do you think he speaks Swiss?
Oh my God. Huge callback.
Literal
I think it won. Episode 1.
That was an episode 1 joke.
Deep
I feel like
cut.
we might have to put that in there.
I don't even know what language they speak, but I don't speak it.
Finnish? They probably speak English.
Swedish? Because I think they live, where do they live? Because it's not Finland, I don't think, actually.
I think they live in Switzerland.
What do they speak there?
Swiss.
Is that a language or do they speak like Dutch?
No, I'm pretty sure Swiss is a language.
Is it?
Okay, well, now I have to now I have to Google.
I don't think Swiss is a language. Like I think in Switzerland they speak like Dutch or German or like one of those Nordic languages.
German, the 4 official languages of Switzerland are Italian, German, French, and Romansh. Romansh, I don't know, Romansh. I don't even know what language that is. I've never heard that language.
I've never heard of that either, and it's an official language. Can you just Google what languages Kimi Räikkönen speak?
I don't even know where I could find the audio. Like I'd have to rip it from the Spotify.
Literally deep cut.
That's a Zoom recording that does not exist anymore. And his fun fact is that he's not only a race car driver, but also a talented skier, often spending his off seasons on the slope.
Oh, shoop, shoop, shoop.
I mean, makes sense. He's from Switzerland. Grew up in the Alps.
With Alps.
It makes sense. So then we have Lucas.
Oh, I have another question quickly about Switzerland.
Yeah.
Is that where Swiss cheese is from?
I have to presume yes.
Okay, moving on.
I can't say for certain because I did not research that. So
so crazy that your brain's in there. So Swiss Army knives. Sorry, I'm just gonna give fun facts about that I'm making up about all the countries that these people are from.
There's the real facts and then there's the Kate facts. You guys can decide which ones you like better. So next we have Lucas de Grassi. He is Brazilian and he's been in Formula E since day one, motherfucker. If you remember, it started in 2014. So he debuted in Beijing 2014. And his notable achievements are he was the 2016, 2017 Formula E champion. And he has secured multiple wins and podiums and is one of the most experienced and successful drivers in the series. Because he's been here since the beginning.
And the Kate fact on him is that notably, famously, he was friends with Drake before Drake became Drake. And he was in a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
Lucas de Grassi.
Because he was in Degrassi. Yeah, obviously. Now, the real fun fact about Lucas is that he was instrumental in the development of Formula E series as a whole, working closely with the FIA and the series founders to shape the championship. So,
ooh, sounds like a little nepotiz going on.
Yeah, he's great-grandfathered into this series, and I can't imagine that someone won't give him a seat until he's ready to stop driving.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, Grandpa, settle down. We got you. You're good.
That's going to be Alonso's next defense for why he should stay in F1. He's like, I started this thing. And back in my day, we used to drive uphill 3 miles both ways.
So next we have, you know them, you love them, Andretti, Formula E team. And our 2 drivers there are Jake Dennis and Norman Nato. So Jake is British, and he debuted in the series at the 2021 Diriyah. I don't know how to say this. Diriyah, D-I-R-I-Y. Okay, D-I-R-I-Y-A-H. That was really a hard number of series of letters for me to say with my speech impediment. And his notable achievements are that he was the 22-23 Formula E world champion, known for his consistency and strong performances, securing multiple wins and podiums. Now, I think it's interesting that I think the series starts in the prior year and ends in the following year. So it's always 23-24.
It's like a school year.
It's like a school year.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And Jake's fun fact is that he is a sim driver for Red Bull Racing and helps the team develop their cars behind the scenes. So he's got 2 jobs, much like us. Then
he's a single mom
who works too hard. Exactly.
2 jobs.
Then we've got Norman. Norman is French, And his Formula E debut was also in the 2021 Diriyah E-Prix. His notable achievements are he has shown strong potential with podium finishes and will look to leverage his experience with Andretti to secure more consistent results. His fun fact is that he's known for his love of surfing and often hits the waves to unwind when he's not racing.
I wonder if he's ever almost drowned. Like
he should talk to Lewis about that.
Yeah, they can compare horror stories.
Do you think Norman has come into close contact with a shark?
Not as close
Similar
as you.
to me.
Not as close
Which
as
is
you.
so scary because I don't know if you've been keeping up about all the shark attacks recently in Florida. And I'm like, that's
shark show?
No.
There's apparently a new shark show out.
Well, I gotta watch it.
Apparently real good.
I'll be checking it
might
out.
be triggering.
Might. We'll see. I'll give it a shot, and then if it's too scary for me, I'll turn it off. All right, next
we've got you a shark tooth necklace to match Lando. Overcome your fear.
Next we have DS Penske, and some of you may remember we've got Stoffel Van Dorn and Jean-Eric Vernier. And Stoffel Van Dorn is
so handsome.
So handsome.
This is who we were both thinking of, is it not?
100%. So Stoffel is Belgium, and he did race
famous
in Formula
for their chocolates and their waffles.
And he was in Formula One. He was at McLaren with Alonso, and he actually is in the first season of Drive to Survive. They don't ever interview him because he was out the next season, but he was there. So you can take a peek at him if you're interested. There. His notable achievements are he was the 21-22 Formula E champion, and he's known for his consistency and racecraft with multiple wins and podiums. And he also is currently the reserve driver for Aston Martin. And
again, single mom, working 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Working
incredibly handsome.
Incredibly handsome.
So Stoffel is my number 1 pick to be interviewing.
100%.
When we're in Portland.
I will say I need to be virtually there. Sorry.
So handsome. I just remember being in the Vegas paddock. Him, Jensen Button, and then kind of cursed James Corden in a circle out standing next to us.
I was literally 4 a.m.
Well, fuck, marry, kill. Who are you choosing? That was cursed, but so beautiful.
The easiest fuck, marry, kill of all time.
So Stoffel's fun fact is that he is multilingual. He's fluent in Dutch, French, English, and German, and that reflects his diverse European racing background.
Wow, I can talk to him then.
Ja, und sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Ja, ich spreche. Nur ein bisschen.
Perfect. His teammate, Jean-Eric Vernier, is, you guessed it, French. He has also been in the sport since
Jean-Eric Vernier, that's a French-ass name, boy.
He's also been in the sport since day one, debuting at the 2014 Beijing E-Prix. He is a 2-time Formula E champion, 2017, 2018, and 2018, 2019. So back-to-back champs, and one of the most successful drivers in the series with numerous wins and podiums. His fun fact is that he has a passion for music and he plays the guitar in his spare time. I feel like this is a dating show where I'm just and he will sing you Wonderwall
and
if he corners you at a party. So next up, we have Envision Racing.
Number 3. Pick number 3, my lord.
Envision has Robin Friggins, Frijns. Friends,
I think sounds right.
And then
my favorite thing is when
I say a name and I don't know how to say it.
No, when you don't know how to say it, but then you spell it. You're just FYI.
Yeah, because I want you guys to know that this is how it's spelled, and you try to say that. Romansh, I don't know, Romansh. I don't even know what language that is. I've never heard that language. And Robin's teammate is Sebastian Buemi. 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 Could be a number of ways that you say this. So Robin and Sebastian.
I'm gonna call him Sebastian Buscemi.
Perfect.
Like
so
my
Robin
fave
is
team.
Dutch, and he has been in it since 2015. And he is known for his aggressive driving style and has secured multiple wins and podiums in his Formula E career.
Okay,
I would hope so. He's been here for almost 10 years. And his fun fact is that
don't let Nico Hulkenberg hear you say
that. He once appeared as a guest driver in the BMW M4 DTM Taxi, giving lucky fans high-speed rides around the track. So it was kind of like the Cash Cab. Sort of Robin's the host of Cash Cab.
That's the Kate fact, is actually he hosts Cash Cab. He's actually the driver of Cash Cab.
Yeah.
Rise.
And then Sebastian is Swiss, famous for their Swiss cheese. And he, along with his teammate, has been in it since the beginning, 2014. He is the 2015-2016 Formula E champion and has a long history of success with numerous wins and podiums. No, so it was 2014-2015. He was 2015-2016.
Got it.
Yeah. And his fun fact is he's one of the few drivers to have competed in Formula E, Formula One, and the World Endurance Championships simultaneously.
He's in F1?
So, yeah. So kind of he was for Toro Rosso.
Got it. Wow. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Back in the day. And then he became a reserve driver for them as well.
Well, damn.
Jaguar TCS Racing. We've got Mitch Evans and Nick Cassidy. Mitch Evans is a New Zealander. He debuted
Kiwi, eh?
He debuted in 2016, and his notable achievements are he's a consistent front runner with multiple wins and podiums, known for his strong race performances. And his fun fact is he's known for his interest in extreme sports, including skydiving and bungee jumping.
Okay.
So he too should be talking
to
Lewis.
I'm foreseeing maybe a future in Formula E for Lewis. Let's get Lewis in there to absolutely crush the competition. And it's
Formula
also really
E,
aligned
not for electric, Formula E for extreme. Get it?
Yeah.
So Nick Cassidy is from New Zealand.
Another Kiwi.
Nick holds the coveted Triple Crown of titles in Japanese motorsport, meaning he has been the championship winner in Formula 3, Super GT, and Super Formula.
Okay, fun. Good for him. Triple Crown.
All right, next up we have Mahindra Racing, and we have Eduardo
Mahindra, famous for their AI content creator.
You're right. Beef. With Eduardo Martag, and you know him, you love him, our favorite sociopath, Nick DeVries. So Eduardo is Swiss-Italian, and he's been in the sport since 2017. His notable achievements are he's known for his strong performances and multiple wins and podiums, and previously a key driver for Venturi. I don't know what that team is, but I think they might have been a Formula E team. I didn't look into it. His fun fact is that Eduardo is a fan of classical music and often attends concerts during his downtime from racing.
Do you think he's gone to any of Charles' shows?
He probably has Charles on repeat.
Do you think he's downloaded all of his songs?
Okay, if Charles had done a show, we would know.
You're right. I would have been front row. Will I spend money to go across the world for an F1 race?
I would.
Maybe not. Would I spend my entire life savings to travel to a Charles Leclerc?
And I would support you in that journey.
Yes.
I'd support you. Yeah.
I'm putting Nick's house up for sale.
Who sold the house? It's that meme. Who sold the house? And then it's the Drake picture, and it's Kate at the front at Charles's show in Monaco.
I've bought every single ticket, so it's just him serenading me alone.
I'd love it. I hope you would invite me for moral support at least.
Debatable, but yeah, okay. Most likely.
Sure.
You could probably come with me to the location, but you'd have to drop me off as if my mom was dropping me off for a concert.
Perfect.
It has to be a meet cute. It has to be just me and him.
He's like, thank you, Monaco, and he's like, oh shit,
it's just you. And I'm like, yes. It's crying. Anyways.
All right. Next up, we have Nick won 2021 Formula E, and he is a keen cyclist and often uses cycling as part of his training regime. And he is also a neat freak, as we learned.
We did learn.
Next up, we have Maserati MSG racing with Maximilian.
How many teams are there?
There's 11.
What are we on?
I don't know. You guys, you keep interrupting me with your Kate facts.
I'm trying to make it more interesting here. These guys are
Maximilian.
These guys all have the same freaking experience.
We've got Maximilian Gunther and
sick name.
Jehan Daruvala.
Okay, wait, I have a joke to make about his name.
What?
He said his name is Maximilian Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally giving Harry Potter, Albus Severus Potter, you are named for 2 headmasters of Hogwarts, and they are both 2 of the bravest men I have ever known. And it's literally Max Verstappen and Gunther Steiner.
Exactly.
Okay, continue.
All right. Max is German. He's been in it since 2018. And his fun fact is that he's an avid chess player and enjoys the strategic depth and mental challenges of the game.
I wonder if he's caught up on the scandals. I wonder if he's part of the scandals.
I'll ask him.
You better.
So
you gotta ask all of them to confirm or deny the Kate facts. That's actually your content for Formula E, is you go in with all the Kate facts, you say confirm or deny.
Does your family make Swiss cheese, yes or no? Okay, so we have Jehan, and he is Indian. It is his rookie season this year, and he is transitioning from a successful F2 career where he was the first Indian driver to secure a podium finish in F2, paving the way for more Indian talent motorsports. So,
love.
Huge accomplishment. Then we have Neom McLaren Formula E team. McLaren's everywhere. They've got their hands in everything. So we've got Jake Hughes and Sam Bird. Sam Bird is British. And
is he related or not to Sue Bird?
Not related to Sue Bird.
Damn.
He's been in the sport since 2014, and he is one of the original Formula E drivers with multiple wins and podiums, known for his experience in racecraft. His fun fact is he once competed in a celebrity karting race with Prince Harry, where he narrowly lost to the Royal. So
okay, fun. That is a fun fact. That's a fact that is fun. You want to know what? If they were playing icebreakers, I hope that's what he's saying.
2 truths and a lie. You'd be like, that's a lie.
That you got beat by.
Yeah.
Prince Harry. Also, is that embarrassing that Prince Harry beat you and you're a professional? I don't know. Can't tell.
Jake Hughes, who's British, and he started in 2023. And he really impressed in his rookie season with pole positions and strong performance, showing significant potential for the future. And his fun fact is that he started his racing career relatively late at the age of 15, but quickly made up for lost time with his rapid ascent through the ranks.
Imagine being late to your career at 15. What were you doing at 15 years old?
I was being a menace, for sure.
I was literally rage farming on Tumblr. That's what I was doing.
Okay. Next up, we have Nissan. So we've got Sasha Fenestraz and Oliver Rowland. Sasha is French-Argentinian, and he started in 2022. He's known for his speed and showing strong potential. And his fun fact is that he was born in France but grew up in Argentina, giving him a unique blend of European and South American racing influences.
Oh, don't cry for me, Argentina.
And Oliver is British. He's been in it since 2015 as a reserve, but full in 2018. And he is also known for his aggressive driving style. He is an accomplished triathlete and often competes in triathlons to maintain peak physical fitness for racing.
I will say, I do not think that I think you said his name, but I don't think you told me about Norman Nato.
Yes, I did.
You said... Really?
Mm-hmm.
What was his fun fact?
His fun fact was that he loves surfing because you.
Oh yes, okay. I just saw it in the note. I was quickly glancing, and it said his fun fact was that he's played paddle with Charles and Carlos.
Yes.
So I was like, I don't remember hearing that.
That is another fun fact.
Okay,
I saw that on his Instagram. Then we've got the NIO 333 racing team, and we've got Dan Tickman.
Okay, did Elon Musk name that team?
We've got Dan Tickman and Sergio Sette Caramara. Dan is British, and he has been in it since 2021. He is known for his bold driving and competitive spirit, seeking to improve NIO 333 standings. And his fun fact is he has a passion for photography, which he often shares stunning shots from his travels and races on social media.
Love.
And Sergio is Brazilian, and he has been in it since 2020. He is known for his pace and technical skill, and he is an avid fan of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and he practices martial art to stay fit and focused.
That is
and then last but not least, we have Tag Heuer Porsche Formula E team, and we have Antonio Felix da Costa and Pascal Wehrlein. And Antonio is Portuguese, and he has been in it since 2014. He won 2019-20 season, and he has his pilot's license and enjoys flying planes, following in the footsteps of his father, who was a commercial pilot.
How fun.
And then Pascal is German. He's been in it since 2018, and his notable achievements are he's a consistent performer, and he has technical prowess. And his fun fact is he's known for his love of fashion and often collaborates with designers to create custom racing suits and casual wear.
How fun. Again, someone else that should talk to Lewis.
And that's what you missed on Formula E. So
it's electric. That's for sure.
Everyone go to the stories right now as you're listening to this, and I will have posted all of the Formula E drivers, and you guys vote on who we should talk to at the E-Prix.
And which of the Kate facts Nicole should
were your favorite?
Yeah. All right, and that's been It's Electric. Quick social stars moment. What was my social stars? So we got a couple ladies that have caused some commotion on the internet this week. Number one is none other than Miss Kelly Piquet. Mm-hmm. So if you were on Instagram this week and you follow Kelly or get her on your Discover page, you may have seen the discourse about
There's been a lot of discourse.
About Kelly Piquet. She posted an Instagram. I'm going to pull it up and read it word for word. She posted an extremely vague Instagram post addressed to the haters.
She said, haters are my motivators. Especially now.
Blocking out the haters. So this is what she said. It's so vague. So anyway, she said, a note from me and a gentle reminder to all. The online world can be a wonderful place for various reasons, but a very scary one when wrong information and lies are thrown around. I am unsure of the appropriate approach to address hate stemming from falsehoods. I have considered composing a response and letting it stand. For over 3 years, I've been navigating a very strange and upsetting wave of accusations, rumors, fabricated situations, fake testimonials, photoshopped screenshots, you name it. All the while staying silent and not playing into these ridiculous claims. Accusations made in the past months especially have taken on another level of defamation. Those who know me know that I would never put myself in such positions, say certain things, or act in such a way. I am far from perfect, but I do take pride in my values, morals, and manners. Let that be clear. As a human being, the comments and hate affect me and the people around me deeply. I hope this serves as a reminder for people to verify online content before making threats. I hope those of you who have contributed to this take a moment to reflect on the real-life consequences of spreading lies and engaging in hate. Remember, as James Clear says, every action we take is a vote for who we want to be. Let's choose to be better humans to ourselves and others. So, obviously, here's the thing about what Kelly said. Totally understand where she's coming from. Like, if people are spreading lies and rumors and, like, she's getting a lot of hate, I totally get putting out a statement if she feels like that's what she needs to do. The vagueness of this post is only going to attract more attention and get more people to talk about this and wonder what it's about. And what do people do when they don't know something? They're going to make things up.
They're gonna talk.
Like, if you want people to stop talking, like, it's just like these situations and this thing happening in the past couple months. Like, if it's bad enough that you have to say something, like, as a publicist, I would be like, we got to say something a little more specific.
Right.
At least put a little bit of specificity in there so that people aren't like, oh, she could be talking about this or she could be talking about this. It's just going to invite people to bring up every single negative thing that's ever been said about her and like talk about it more. So I'm like, I think that this statement is probably not going to do what she wanted it to do.
No.
Unless that's what she wanted and she just wanted people to talk. Who knows? But
who's to say these days? People
the other
love
discourse
to rage bait on the internet now.
They do. The other discourse is that Max posted a comment.
This is my favorite part of the discourse.
So there's a comment from Max under the photo that says, "This has to stop. These false accusations by certain individuals on Instagram and TikTok are insane and ridiculous at the same time. Hate has no place in this world. We know it's true within our family and we are very happy together. I love you. Heart."
Heart emoji.
Heart emoji. First of all, it's hate has no place in this world. Like, bro, a hysterical use of that phrase, I think. I feel like people, when they use hate has no place in this world, it's about like
racism, maybe
racism and like genocide. Like, let's be real here. So, but the discourse around Max's comment is that people are very convinced that Max did not actually post this and Kelly posted it from his account or wrote it for him or something, because there's also now screenshots of the exact moment that the comment was posted and showing that Max was actually playing Call of Duty at that exact same time. So that's just a funny, like, people love to stir the pot.
It's also just funny. Like, I can't imagine Max using a heart emoji. No offense. Like, that just does not, it doesn't sit right with me to see him using heart emojis. Personally.
Yeah. So we are not going to discuss exactly what the rumors and hate around her are, because that's kind of the opposite of like this post and what we think is right. And you guys know we love to talk about rumors, we love to talk about gossip. However, if it's like intentionally hateful and like
the gist of it is, we won't go into too much, but it's that Kelly potentially had a relationship with another Formula One driver while he was married, and the current wife is like now kind of speaking out about it. That's what's going on.
Yeah, if you want more information, you can go to Twitter. You can go places. There are people talking about it, but I ain't gonna spread things that have not been verified. So, anyways, that's Kelly.
Harmful things that have not been verified. Let's be clear.
Exactly. Key. And the other lady that's been making some waves on Instagram is Chloe Stroll James. Announced that she and Scotty are having a baby.
That's gonna be like the most loved baby.
Fun kid also.
Yeah.
That kid's gonna be so funny.
Yeah.
I actually I just feel like that kid's gonna be such a little ball of energy.
Thinking about like Scotty and Danny like engaging with this baby is doing nothing for my baby fever right now.
Like them taking him like dirt biking with them. Oh, the images of Scotty teaching him how to snowboard. If it's a boy, I don't know why I'm like said he, but regardless,
boy or girl,
teaching them how to snowboard, I actually can't. Like,
I love it. I can't wait.
Do you think Chloe's gonna wake the baby up every day going "Rise and shine"? She's a singer.
Yeah, probably.
I thought so. So that's a good one. I feel like we were kind of in the negs with Kelly, and now we're in the positives with Chloe. And the last social star we have is Zach Brown. Finally got his tattoo for Lando's win in Miami. It's the exact same tattoo that he got for Danny. Basically, it's the track on the same spot of the opposite arm.
Which it's kind of crazy that I think he just got the itch. You and I know once you get one, you got to keep going. But it's not like Lando has any tattoos,
right? So it's a lot of Lando's people were thing. Like, "What?"
Like Lando did not make that deal with you, but like, hey, you know what? once you get one, you got to keep going.
I know. Also, he's such a fucking pussy.
Can you imagine Zach gets a full sleeve if McLaren just like starts?
It's a racetrack sleeve. It's just all the tracks. I bet Riley could actually design something fucking sick for that.
He's like, oh, you don't like girls with tattoos? Take me off the roster. Take me off the roster. Not Zach.
I'm dead. But also just watching him get this tattoo, I'm like, bro.
Yeah, it's not that deep.
It is not that bad. He's like, like he's like crying. I'm like,
it's an outline. There's no shading. It's
literally it's an outline. Like
it's 30 seconds. This took approximately 15 seconds to do, and this has got to be the same amount of line work that Zach had.
Much more line work, and probably took 10 minutes tops.
Yeah,
not even.
Yeah, grow up.
Didn't hurt.
Grow up.
I'm actually just really fucking tough, and it didn't hurt.
Be a man. Be a woman. Grow up.
Grow up. So that's social stars. We're skipping fast fashion this week because we just simply don't have time. But we do have girls' room.
We need to discuss the girls' room. Yeah.
The girls' room.
Okay, Chloe.
I've been inspired now. Chloe's having a baby, so now I have to compete with this baby to be her protege. It's succession. I have to be the successor.
You are the eldest son.
I am the eldest son. Anyways, girls' room. Jerry Halliwell.
Minus the
Horner. You know her as Ginger Spice. Recently did an interview and dropped her married name. Mm-hmm. So for the past several years, of course, her name has been Jerry Halliwell Horner. And that's how she's been referred to. That's how she's been referring to herself. But in this new interview, she was just Jerry Halliwell, which begs the question, what's going on?
Yeah. Now, we have been discussing how we're sad to see the Christian thing kind of swept under the rug. It's no longer talked about. However, is Jerry finally fed up with him and she's quietly leaving now? Again, these rumors are unfounded. We don't know, but like it's pretty interesting that she hasn't been at the races in a while. We have confirmation from people that they haven't seen her at least for the past 2 races.
I think someone said they might have seen her in Monaco, but they weren't positive.
Let's see. I mean, when I search for it, Getty comes up, but only for 2023.
All right, well.
So there's nothing for her in 2024. Yeah.
Interesting. So Jerry has not been at the past couple of races, allegedly, and is now
also screaming that I Googled this, and there's an article. Christian Horner in fight with neighbors over plans for pool. Red Bull boss Christian Horner and wife Jerry Halliwell are in a fight with neighbors over disrespectful plans to build a swimming pool.
So
T
for 2 and 2 for T. Do you think I have to check with my neighbors before I get my inflatable adult kiddie pool for the summer?
You should.
Otherwise, you don't want disrespectful.
You don't want beef.
I don't want to be fighting with my neighbors.
It does say that it's next door to a church graveyard, so that's why they're in a fight with them. But I'm not paying to read the article, so none of my business.
That's actually extremely disrespectful to swim next to dead people.
Well,
actually, what if they're digging for the pool and there's unmarked
then they hit
graves?
Some bodies? Yeah.
Ugh, okay. I wouldn't build a pool there anyway.
The pool is haunted now, actually. The pool's haunted, so maybe they're right.
You're drowning.
That's bad juju. Sure. Locals living near the couple's home in Northamptonshire in uproar over the couple's plans, which would see the swimming pool edge on the grounds of a church dating back to 1220. Neighbors fear screaming, shouting, and splashing.
Of the ghosts. The ghosts will be
screaming. The ghosts will be shouting and screaming. It would be the height of disrespect to be standing in the churchyard during an interment to be distracted by screaming, shouting, and splashing from a short distance away. The area has historically been a peaceful and quiet part of the village.
That is incredible. It's actually the Lady of the Lake from Haunting of Bly Manor.
No, yeah.
No, thank you. No, thank you. No thanks. Anyways, that's the girls' room. Quick update on Jerry. So stay tuned to see what finds out or what happens. Find out what happens if she's going to quietly divorce Christian, or if that was just a typo on that interview and they just said, oops, forgot to put Horner. Sorry for stirring the pot for no reason.
So sorry for stirring the pot. Either way, I love a little tea.
We love a little tea. Love a little rumor.
Jerry deserves better anyway. It's fucking Christian. Give me a break. She's a 100%. Spice girl.
Literally, rally the other spices around her. Get rid of salty. We don't need salt.
She can go live with David and Victoria. She'll be fine.
100%. 100%. She's free to go pursue her relationship with Mel B again.
Exactly.
And I think that's all we have for the day. It's been a long one, so we've had a
lot.
Rippity wrap it up.
Well, thanks for hanging.
Thanks for hanging out, guys. This has been a fun one. Hope you learned something new today. Make sure you go to our stories and vote on who we should talk to from Formula E. And I just really hope that everyone has a great rest of your week and a great weekend. And if you're reading this at the beginning of the week, I hope you have a great week in general. I just hope you have a great day, afternoon, night, whatever. I just hope you're happy. I just hope you're happy.
I'm manifesting that you have a good week.
Yeah. I'm just manifesting you being happy and joyful and that you have a nice laugh with someone.
It's all I want.
All I want. But until we are back next week, we'll just see you on the internet.
We'll see you on the internet.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of TG1F, an F1 podcast with Kate and Nicole.
If you like what you heard, don't miss out on the fun between episodes.
Keep up with the chaos on Instagram at 2 Girls 1 Formula. That's spelled out TWO girls numerical 1 formula.
And check out our website, 2girls1formula.com, to shop cute fan-made F1 merch.
See you next week.
But like we said, in the meantime, we'll see you on the internet.